Hey guys, lately there have been a lot of YouTubers who have been making videos talking about stress and anxiety and depression. It's just become this conversation with people, and I thought I would share my story. I've had depression since I was in middle school, at least. And I didn't really realize that I had depression until like high school, but looking back on it, in 7th grade, there's this guy that I liked and everything was great, and I was really happy when I was around him, but I was always lonely all the time, and I didn't really understand why, because I had friends, but I just felt really closed off from everything. Eventually the guy would stop talking to me, and I took it a lot harder than I should have. And it wasn't simply because I was in middle school, because that it did play a factor, and it was one of the first crushes I had ever had, but I took it harder than I should have. And for a while, I just said, no, I don't have depression. It's just because I'm heartbroken. Over the past few years, I've been like, no, this is an issue that I have. I have clinical depression, and my therapist and my psychiatrist, they say that it may be some form of bipolar disorder. And what that does is my moods will be a roller coaster, and it's not just like, I'm like, everyone gets stressed, and everyone has little phases where they're unhappy and then they're fine, and then no, it's I'll have phases where I'm really crazy and hyper, and I'll have phases where I'm really depressed, and I'll have phases in between where I'm like normal, or I'm feeling empty or dead. One of the illogical things about my depression is that it makes it so I don't want to do anything, and I will wake up and I'll just be like, I don't want to get up. I have to go to class, and I don't want to go to class. I don't want to do homework. I don't want to listen to music. I don't want to go hang out with my friends. I don't want to do anything fun. I just want to sit there and curl up in a ball and just be by myself. And this is completely illogical, and I know this, and my brain knows this too, but it's so hard to overcome, because the chemistry in my body is saying, you have to sit there and you have to do this to make yourself feel better, even though it's not gonna make me feel better. It makes me feel even worse. I have had several sort of traumatic experiences in my life, and it's not really something I'm going to talk about on YouTube, but those things also play an effect on me, because I'll go through all these things and I'll be like, all right, well, I can't handle anything. And normal people would be like, all right, well, this happened, and I'm gonna talk to someone about it, and I'm gonna go see a therapist, and I'm gonna deal with it, and everything's gonna be fine. But what my body and my brain has said is, no, you're going to face this alone. You're not going to tell someone. You're not going to get medication. You're not going to do anything. And everything I do is just really hard when I try to face it alone, because there will be friends that will be like, what's wrong? Tell me what's wrong. I want to help you. And I'll just be like, no, I'm going to face this alone, because I don't want to talk to anyone, and I don't want to be around anyone. Having depression doesn't mean I'm always sad and I'm always antisocial and wanting to curl up in a ball, because that's not what happens. I'm also fun and hyper and happy and hanging out with my friends and enjoying everything. But it happens where during my day I can go through several phases where I'll be like, all right, everything's fine, I'll wake up, I'll be in a good mood, I'll go throughout my day, I'll have my classes, and everything will be fine, and then something will go wrong. One tiny thing will go wrong, and instantly my day is horrible. And I'll be like, this is crap, I hate everything, I don't want to do anything, I'm so sad, I'm so upset, I'm so angry, I'm so whatever. And then something goes right, and I am finally happy again, and this is my reality, this is what I've been living with since at least 6th grade, and it could be earlier than that. And what I've been doing is something that's completely pointless. I've been trying to face it by myself. I haven't been accepting the help that's around me. I haven't been listening to my friends that have been telling me, Sarah, you should go talk to someone about this. And my parents have been watching me, and they know that I go through these phases. And sometimes I get so depressed that I let it like consume me, and I feel like I'm in a hole that I will never get out of, and I will never be happy again. Finally, this year, I said, you know what? I'm gonna stop doing this. I'm gonna stop playing this game with my depression. I'm gonna try and get help and make myself feel better. And I started seeing a therapist, and that's not gonna make me happy. That's not gonna change the fact that I'm depressed, because I will always be depressed. It will always be there in my life. But it's just someone to talk to help me find ways to cope with what I'm dealing with, and to let me know that I am not alone in this. And everything I do, while I may be like, it's horrible, I'm so not good enough, I can't do anything, she will sit there and tell me, Sarah, yes, you made a mistake, but it's not the end of the world. You can fix it, you can do whatever. And it's helping me with my self-confidence. It's helping me realize that my depression isn't something that's gonna control my life. After a few weeks of me going to therapy, I realized something that I had been thinking about for a while, that was therapy alone is not going to help me. And I finally said to myself, I finally admitted that I really need help. And I told my mom, I think I need to go see a psychiatrist. And I went to see a psychiatrist, and he put me on this medication called Wellbutrin. It's an antidepressant, but it makes it so if I do have bipolar disorder, it won't react negatively, because some antidepressants will react negatively with bipolar disorder, which would be really bad, because then I would have manic episodes all the time, and that by itself is very dangerous, because when people have manic episodes, when I've had little episodes, I feel like I can do anything, and I'm really hyper, and I'm like, I can do this, and then do this, and do this, and I'll go clean my room, and I'll go read books, and I'll go do my homework, and I'll be so productive. But I can also be very destructive, because I can talk to my friends and say things that I normally wouldn't, or I could, people when they have manic episodes often will go on shopping sprees, or they'll go out to parties all the time, or they'll go hook up with a bunch of people, and that can be very dangerous, and the person might not see it at the time. And so they're trying to avoid that by putting me on this Wellbutrin, and I've been on it for a month now, and I have noticed that it's been making me feel better. It's not like happy pills, where it goes, all right, you are going to feel better, and you're going to feel happy, and everything is going to be wonderful, because that's not what it does. What it does is it makes it so if something does happen, it's not as big of a deal, and it's easier for you to be happy, instead of having your level of happiness at here, your average level. It makes it so it's like here, and you can deal with things. I'm really happy that I'm on it, and I'm really happy that I've admitted to myself that I need help, because I can't do this alone. And if you or someone really needs help, you should do that. And don't think it's a weakness. It's a strength that you are admitting that you need help. And running away from your problems, that's not going to solve anything. Trust me, I've been running away from my problems for over 7 years, for over 8 years. I don't know how long, sometime. And it's not going to get better unless you try to make it better. And I promise you, it is worth it to try and get help. And I've seen so many friends be consumed by it and not get medication and not get help. And I've had people around me commit suicide. I've had people around me hurt themselves. And it's terrible watching them experience that, and it's horrible seeing family members of friends that have died, and it's horrible seeing that my depression is a part of me, but it is not something that defines me. And I choose who I am, and it does not choose who I am. I am the one who chooses how to deal with it, and while yes, it may control my life sometimes, and it's a very real thing that tells me, no, you're a piece of shit. No, you can't do anything. No, you have no friends. No, you're a horrible person. I'm learning to live with it because I'm getting help. And I really admire everyone who's made videos about this because they're sharing their stories, and I know how hard it is to talk about it because it's hard for me to talk about it, and I haven't even said everything that I could say in the time that I've been talking. But you know, if you need help, just talk to someone. And I would love to hear your story. I would love a video response or a comment or a message or something like that. I love you guys. I care about you guys. I care about everyone. And I really hope that you and everyone you know feels okay.